and attempted kidnapping, robberies, dark entities, haunted antiques, and mobs. These are disturbing things captured by mall security cameras. On July 18, 2025, a man named Andres Cesares Jaldan, 26, attempted to kidnap a carried her through Fair Oaks Shopping Center in Virginia. The whole thing was caught on mall security cameras. The girl had wandered away from an indoor play area. Her dad was watching her and noticed that she was suddenly gone, so he called his wife, who was shopping at the JCPenney nearby. Jaldan had just walked over, picked her up, and then carried her through the mall, through public areas, the upper level store walkways. Nobody around them reacted because they didn't realize that anything was wrong. They just thought it was a dad with his daughter. Thankfully, the mom got there and found Jaldan on the second floor, still holding her daughter. She confronted him, and thankfully, he just handed her right back, said he was trying to help her find her parents. Yeah. Well, thankfully the girl wasn't hurt. He was charged with abduction of a minor and grand larceny and is currently being held without bond. His background is pretty dark. In 2024, he was charged with battery, malicious wounding, and property damage against his own mom, dad, and brother. While he was on bail for that, he's accused of going after his family again. A psychiatric evaluation done as part of those cases resulted in a schizophrenia diagnosis. All those family-related charges were eventually dropped. So that was pretty nuts. This happened just last month on April 27th inside Bonnie Doon Mall in Edmonton, Canada. Just after 3:20 in the afternoon, 5 masked men showed up outside the mall in a dark SUV and pulled up near an entrance close to a jewelry store. One of them stayed in the vehicle while the other 4 got out and went straight into the store. The moment they entered, they told staff to get down. One customer inside was thrown to the ground while the group started smashing display cases, grabbing as much jewelry as they could. It all happened in less than a minute. Once they had what they wanted, they ran back out of the store and got into the SUV waiting outside. The vehicle took off immediately from the mall. Police later confirmed a woman working in the store was treated for injuries caused by broken glass, but there were no life-threatening injuries and no firearms were involved. So far, no arrests have been made either, though. Security footage from a mall in Quincy, Illinois shows something that's been unsettling people ever since it surfaced online. The video you're looking at comes from a staff member filming a replay of the CCTV monitor with their phone. So the quality isn't great, but we clearly see something pretty strange. Take a look at this. A strange dark shape appears in a hallway. It shows up near a cleaning cart by a set of elevators, pops out for a moment, then immediately moves back into the elevator doorway. Fast. I mean, this thing does not look natural. There's also a light that comes on when those elevator doors open. Notice how no light comes on when this shadowy figure appears, though. Those elevator doors, they weren't opening. This thing seems to just appear out of nowhere. Staff at the mall had already been dealing with odd situations around the area, including missing items from cleaning supplies. Now, what exactly was captured on the security camera? Do you think it's actually some sort of otherworldly entity, or is it just a camera issue? Share your thoughts down below. This series of clips comes from security cameras at the old Strathcona Antique Mall in Edmonton, Alberta. Staff will tell you strange stuff happens there. Pictures flying off walls, exorcist VHSs falling on people's heads. People have seen unexplained shadows. They'd heard voices at night. The place is supposedly haunted. And I mean, if you're a believer in the paranormal, that's not too surprising. Antique malls like this are full of, well, antiques, potentially haunted ones. Stories of spirits attaching themselves to things like old mirrors and paintings, especially dolls, have been told for hundreds of years. So if you want to take the extra step in your Halloween decorations this year, I mean, hit up your local antique store. Bring home whatever makes you uneasy. Live a little. On March 19th, 2025, there was a robbery at Micmac Mall in Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, and it was caught on camera. A shopper was walking past Sunglass Hut when they noticed a man inside stuffing merchandise into a large bag. Before he could get away, a mall security guard stepped in and tried to stop him right at the store entrance. The security guard grabbed him almost immediately, and from there, it turned into a struggle and then a chase, moving through the mall corridor. The robber kept trying to break free while the guard held on, following him as he moved. As they ran down the hallway toward the Foot Locker area, people nearby stopped and watched. A few shoppers pulled out their phones and started recording, and I love this part. Early on in the video, you hear the guard go, "Not on my watch." And I just love a good action movie line thrown into any real-world scenario. But anyway, no information about an arrest or charges. Just about a week ago, hundreds of people showed up to Roosevelt Field Mall in East Garden City, Long Island for the release of a limited edition Swatch watch, and things went totally off the rails. The watch is called the Royal Pop, a collaboration between Swatch and luxury brand Audemars Piguet. I have no idea what I just said. I know nothing about watches, really. I don't care about watches. I don't get it. I mean, that's my watch. Anyway, some people love them. I'm not shaming you, dude. Live your life. The watch runs just over $400, less than I expected for something that is this hype. And I always read about these watches going for like thousands of bucks. Anyway, it was only available at select locations. The release had already been causing chaos at stores around the world, and Long Island was obviously no different. The crowd got so out of hand that Nassau County Police were called in. At some point, people started pushing past officers and ignoring orders to move back, and that's when things really went sideways. Basically turned into a mob. Officers were getting swarmed by what was kind of a stampede. One officer got knocked around by the crowd before pulling out pepper spray, and he used it. When it was over, 4 people were arrested. Roosevelt Field location ended up being one of 19 Swatch stores that closed that day. The company said they shut them down over public safety concerns. Yeah, no kidding. On February 17, 2004, a 68-year-old man was at the JUSCO shopping center in Yokkaichi, Japan, when a young woman with a baby strapped to her chest tried to grab the man's bank card. Startled, he turned around and grabbed the woman's arm, and that's when she started screaming that he was a thief. People nearby really had no idea what was going on. All they heard was this woman screaming thief, so they jumped in. They grabbed the man, pinned him down. Police arrived and detained him. He started vomiting before losing consciousness. Next day, he died at the hospital from heart failure. The woman and the baby were already gone by the time anyone thought to look for her. The case seemed pretty cut and dry to them, though. The man attacked the woman, but the man's family urged them to look into it more. They just couldn't believe that their family member would do something like that. Investigators pulled the CCTV footage, and they couldn't believe it. The story totally flipped. It turned out that the woman had actually followed the man after he withdrew cash from the ATM and tried to rob him. He was the victim. So where was she? They needed to pull her in for questioning. Well, they sifted through all the footage from that day, every camera, and they never saw this woman enter or exit the mall. It was like she just appeared out of nowhere. The full video of the incident has never been released, but there are a couple stills. This is the woman standing in a dark corner close to the ATM just before the incident, and police also released a still image of her face, hoping someone would recognize her, and that image has since taken on a life of its own online. Suffice to say, it's pretty spooky. Nobody's ever identified her. She's simply known as the ATM Phantom. On September 21st, 2013, a normal Saturday afternoon at Nairobi's Westgate shopping mall suddenly became the scene of a deadly attack. Just after noon, 4 armed members of the militant group Al-Shabaab entered the mall and began. Everyone was caught completely off guard. Within minutes, people were running for exits, hiding inside shops, locking themselves in storage rooms and searching for anywhere they could stay out of sight. This went on for days. Security forces surrounded the mall while rescue teams worked to get trapped civilians out of the building. Some people spent all that time hiding in dark rooms, unsure if help would reach them or if the attackers were still nearby. By the time everything was over, on September 24th, 71 people had lost their lives, including civilians, members of the security forces, and the 4 attackers. Around 200 others were also injured. Al-Shabaab later claimed responsibility and said the attack was connected to Kenya's military operations in Somalia. And yes, there is CCTV footage, which YouTube will not allow us to play, but I can go over some of the details. Cameras recorded the attackers moving between floors, entering stores, spending time inside the supermarket that seemed to be their main base. In several clips, they can be seen carrying supplies taken from shops, communicating with one another as they moved through the building. Once it was over, investigators used that CCTV footage, along with witness statements and forensic evidence, to piece everything together, building this full timeline of of what happened. Pretty disturbing case. But with all that said, that has been the video, and I will catch you, yes, you specifically, in the next one.